Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home, and well, happy Thanksgiving weekend. We have Wendy Hollick here from Neat Spaces, and you've been on the show before, and you're a professional organizer. So it's a good time of year. You know, a lot of times people don't want to get into this stuff in the summer, right? Because you're out and about, you're running around, you want to be outside. But now we're getting into the season where we're starting to spend more time indoors, and you need to get yourself a little bit organized just for your own personal sanity, right?
Correct.
Yes. Okay,
yes.
So we're going to focus on, all right, kids being back in school, and even though we have a lot of technology, again, we're still getting paper from school, and of course kids work and everything, so we need to organize that.
Correct.
Yes.
That's right.
So where would you start?
Well, I'm going to start with my favorite home calendar.
Okay.
This is a family calendar. What I like best about this is the large squares and the lines. There's lots of space to write. So even though we have electronic technology and everyone has one of these, we still need to have a central station in the home where everybody knows what's going on. That enables the kids to be responsible and aware of what their activities are.
That's right, because I mean, also I know as parents, like, you know, we all have our calendars, as you say, you know, within our laptops and our phones, but the kids can't see that.
That's right.
So you want to have it, so I still like the idea of having an open calendar for everybody to see. It just, sometimes, you know, and some things happen with technology and you don't have access to it. So here you go.
Right.
This is, and especially if you have a lot of kids.
Yes.
You need some
organizing. You can color code this as well with a highlighter or a different colored pen. Each child has a color, and that can transform throughout the house with some of the other things we're going to talk about today as well.
Perfect. I like that idea. So basically, Wendy and I were talking before the show, suggesting that you give a color to each child so they know that they're blue, and everything comes with that will be blue or red or green. So we'll get to that. So I like this idea, very cost effective, and again, it just central station, as we know, pretty much for most homes is a kitchen. Get it somewhere in that area, and then people know what's going on, right?
Right.
Especially with a lot of activities, and oh boy, kids do a lot of stuff these days.
Yes.
So do parents.
Yes, we do. We're very busy.
Yes.
So
this is cool.
This is
easy to find locally, and you know, helps your life out a little bit.
Excellent.
Okay. So next, where should we go? Which direction?
We can go to paper management in the home.
Okay.
So this piggybacks on this again with the color coding files. Even though we have a lot of things that we do online, there's still paper that comes home. So when there's a paper or a permission slip that comes home from school, I would like to see it put on the calendar so everyone knows what's going on.
Yep.
You're going to put it in your electronic diary so you don't forget. And this is going to be the information that sometimes you still need to keep that piece of paper. It has details on it as far as the time, what to wear, what to bring, what the activity involves. So it can be quite involved sometimes. This is where you would put it. So this stays out on the counter or a desk in the kitchen or a home office where you're going to be able to refer to it so it's not out of sight, out of mind.
Now, you were mentioning to me that a lot of times people now, they want to declutter, and their way of decluttering is clearing off the counter and putting everything away underneath, to the point where I know that sometimes I know people in my family that will literally take brand new information, whether it's, you know, your gas and heating bill or, again, kids' permission forms, and move it to another room, and then it's gone. Out of sight, out of mind sometimes isn't good.
That's correct.
Because
That's
then it's really literally out of your mind.
Yes. That's true.
And you don't hand in the permission slip because it's gone. So even if you say you just got it, throw it in here, and this is just quick, easy access. And you know this is the stuff that's of urgency, or at least
this is active. This we don't want to put away.
Right.
So this could be have their names on it. Again, color coded. The person in the family that's blue would have their name. Even if you don't have children, this is a great way to manage paper in the home for your own activities, your own to do, your own bills to pay, things that need to have attention, and that we call active.
Right.
It's ongoing.
Yep.
But then when it's done, take the paper out and recycle it.
And recycle, and it's good. And then that way you're not hoarding stuff in there. You're not keeping stuff that's outdated for a year. You're moving it out. Get it out.
It's transitional.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Excellent.
And I like this idea. Now, you showed me this, and I thought this was the coolest thing ever. Look at this thing. So you hold it up like this. So you said you can hang this anywhere.
Yes.
And it's like really, again, color coding, right? And it's another system of filing and just keeping information.
It's active and it's portable. So this folds up, as you saw, and can be taken to the office, can be taken in the car if you're going on a hockey tournament where you need to take the paperwork, or you want to work while you're away. That can hold business, or any paper that's active, or it can stay attached to a wall or behind a door to be used in the home
I like that idea, and it's very compact, right? So it's
That's this one here.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's a great idea. And again, a lot of these items, easy to find. You know, local stores now. You know, business stores. You know, or you've got access to this stuff, so it's not like it's it's not easy to find, right?
And anything can be found on the web as well.
Right, and that's the thing too. You can search these guys.
Right.
Okay, so. Talking about organizing your kids' lives. Okay, we were saying that something like this seems like a really great option. I know we all take pictures of our kids. Half the time, most of the time, they're sitting digital in our laptops or in our phones. You got to print them off, or you're also getting, you know, full school photos or team photos. And I was saying to you, I'm very particular about wanting it to be super fabulous when I do set up that book for him, that I don't get around to doing it at all.
Right.
So.
That's very common. So I'm going to show you the guilt-free, mommy guilt-free way of organizing for your children that they can self-serve and look at it at any time, but it costs under $15 and takes less than 2 minutes to do.
Love it.
So this is just a scrapbooking book.
Yep.
And what I've done is the first half of the book are school photos. So the class photo and the individual photo, and literally just tucked right in here, not even using any tape.
So yeah, I mean, you could take the sheet out and you could decorate it to whatever you want.
You could,
but it's also just
you could get very fancy or not.
Yep.
But it's done. It's not a guilt where you live and go, I don't know where all the soccer pictures are or hockey pictures. Where's all the school pictures?
Yeah.
I've walked into my daughter's room and she's been looking at this, laughing, can't believe how much she's changed.
Kids love looking at pictures of themselves, right?
And this is an example here, the latter half of the book showing the sports photos. So I've divided it. You can change it up any way you like. You can add pages very easily.
Okay, so you can add to this one. Oh, that's cool.
So you do not need to be crafty.
No.
And it rids us mums of the guilt of not doing anything with the pictures that we spend a lot of money on.
Yes.
And no one's enjoying them because they're in a drawer with other miscellaneous papers from that swoosh.
Yeah. You've probably seen so much, right? So, I mean, that's the thing. So to kind of recap, of course, this is just touching a little bit. I mean, you will do full-on garages for people, do their basements from like top to bottom, cleaning out, organizing, setting up, again, units and containers, and making sure that everybody has their lives organized from any room in the house, right?
Exactly. Yeah. We can come in and work with the client, without the client, or a bit of both, depending on how busy or...
Do some people say, here's the keys, go in my house?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Beautiful.
It's fabulous.
So your website again is
neatspaces.ca.
Go on, and you can communicate with you that way. And again, some great ideas from you, but also you can just go from top to bottom and make their life way better.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on the show, Wendy.
Okay,
always good information. All right, we'll be back with more Terra at Home after this.
Thank you.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. We're at a fun little place for both kids and adults alike. It's called Crock-A-Doodle, and it's a pottery painting studio. I'm here with Angie, the owner of this particular franchise, and this is the Burlington location.
Yes, Burlington.
And okay, so this is fun. This is fun, as we were mentioning, for all ages. Male, female, doesn't matter who you are.
Doesn't matter. The guys come in. let's face it, the dads come in with the kids and say they're not going to do much, and then within 15 minutes they've pretty much got a piece of pottery in front of them. So we're turning it around.
It brings that kind of out of you, right? And it's a bit of a kind of a getaway for your brain as an adult.
Absolutely.
Because once we leave school and we're not doing anything artistic anymore, we forget that this actually really it makes you focus and pushes away all the other cares in life.
It never ceases to amaze me, the children that come in and the parents say, oh, they won't do it, they won't sit still, and half an hour later you have the 5-year-old little boy that's just so intrigued by the motor car that he's painting, and the parents are dumbfounded.
Exactly. Well, I've even told you that about my little guy, who's 3.5. I was like, there's no way. He doesn't sit still. And my mom says he just runs everywhere. But he managed to sit here for at least 10 minutes and actually painted a crocodile, which is a lot for a little guy. I didn't tie him to the chair or anything. It was really good. So, but it's a great place. Let's talk about Crock-A-Doodle and how it got started.
Crock-A-Doodle started about 12 years ago. A lovely lady by the name of Annette Brennan started it, and the idea was born from her home. And she would take it out to people's houses and do private parties, and then she decided, okay, this isn't enough. There's too big of a demand. Let's go retail.
Wow.
And started opening up the different locations. And so we haven't been around a long time, but there's about 10 of us now. Chatham just opened, Brantford just opened, Blue Mountain's still kicking around.
The Blue Mountain one. That's
and the Blue Mountain one's great because everybody in Ontario goes to Blue Mountain. I get so many people.
We all make our way up towards Collingwood, don't we?
One way or another, somebody gets to Blue Mountain, and then they learn about all the other locations, and then they come and see us locally.
Yes.
I think the biggest surprise I've had since I opened is so many people come in and say, I can't believe you're here. You're so close. I think they can walk to us. They can. It's a 5-minute drive, and I don't think they had that ever before.
No, and it really is. It's just another great thing to do with your family.
Yeah.
Right. Because people, as parents, we know kids have a very short attention span and they need variety. So
and it's something new. It's not something that happens. There's no other place in Burlington that offers it like we do. And we get phone calls all the time. My baby's 13 months old, and we said, yeah, bring him in. Like, we've got the high chair.
Could you do even some sort of concepts of just like using
handprints
and stuff? So
we just did. Alexa just did 7-week-old baby footprints this week.
Oh, I love it.
A little girl, and keepsakes like that are absolutely priceless.
It is.
And the babies are great. And from the youngest age, we are handing them a paintbrush as soon as they come in. And our paints are water soluble. They're non-toxic.
That's good, because you know it's going to end up with
They're lead-free. Nobody can be harmed from them. And the infants are great. I mean, we see a lot of paint in hair and on faces. And if it gets in their mouth, then so be it. They're okay. It just tastes like chalk.
Yeah.
So they're good.
It's not that bad, right?
And they are so proud of themselves.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So that's what's great about it is for kids is that no matter what they paint, eventually they come back. A few days later, right?
Yep.
Pick it up. It's all done, and it's their little keepsake. You can even put their age, the date on it, and that's something. And I'm going to use it as a progression of Jack's life, just to see, how his talents unfold.
Yes.
Hopefully, he improves from when he was 3. But I guess the great part too is it's also seasonal. So here we are. We're Thanksgiving time, but if you were thinking about as you move through the seasons, Halloween, you're going to have great stuff. Christmas.
Christmas is probably our most important time of year, and it's those one-of-a-kind, priceless gifts. And let's face it, grandmas and grandpas and omas and nonas, they have everything they need.
Right.
And they're able to come in here and create something that's...
This gift means way more.
Way more.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is we get parents that come in and I have to ask them, is grandma going to put it away? and it'll be too precious to touch, or is grandma gonna actually use it?
Right.
So
because that's the thing. So you have cute little figurines and things like that. But you also have actual functional.
Oh, we have the platters and the teapots and the mugs and the cups
and great
everything is 100% safe to use once it goes through the kiln process. So these one-of-a-kind gifts, and I mean, we've seen people crying here picking up stuff, and it burned my heart, for just to see these people and the looks on their faces. It's incredible.
Well, it's funny. I actually, of all the mugs that I've had, the one mug I painted years ago at one of Annette's studios, I actually, that's the one I gravitate towards the the
And you
most.
still
Still
have
for
it.
my tea, I drink from that.
Yeah, 'cause
It-
you know.
I don't know why, but there's
Yeah.
something about it. And
It's special. It's special.
But, yeah.
It's unbelievably special, these items that are created here. And I am honored to be a part. We just, a good friend, they had to put their dog down, as sad as it sounds. And her first instinct, she actually left the vets to come here, and we loaded her up with tiles and paints, and she was able to go get paw prints. And,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my goodness,
we
that's
do
so
things like
cute.
that, you know, she knew to think of me because she knew me, but it's a nice, you know.
But you're just
it's
giving
there-
people ideas right now. People
Yeah.
are like, okay.
But it's more than just, you know, like it's just really one of a kind. So they were going to turn the little tiles into coasters so that all the
Perfect.
kids had a coaster on their bedside table.
Oh, that is really actually smart thinking.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So all of these little keepsakes, they all mean something. And again, adults coming in, and the concept of sitting down, you know, with your child and actually spending
Family time.
Family time.
No blackberries.
Right.
We see them on the table the odd time, and we kind of say, no, you have to put that away.
The rules are.
The rules are, and you know me, Leslie, I don't have a lot of rules. But yeah, we don't see a lot of blackberries. The time here is the time. It's the bonding. It's with the family. It's
Well,
just
we can even see
hanging
today.
out.
I mean, all the kids around here with their moms and their dads, and you know.
Yeah, and they're
it's-
all here having fun, making their one-of-a-kind works of arts, and it's awesome.
And I love that it's seasonal, and I love that you're bringing in different concepts. But also, you guys do birthday parties too.
Oh, the birthday parties are sensational. I wish I could have had my birthday parties here.
I think, can I?
Now you
Can I
still can. I actually had a lady. I won't say her age, but she was above the 4 in the O. And
Oh, I'm below the 4 in the O,
She
Angie.
did. She did have. Yes, you are. She did have her birthday party here, and she came in. We have a whole separate party room studio, and she had a private party for her and 10 of her girlfriends for her 42nd birthday.
Perfect. So there you go.
And
So you can do it young or old.
Young
and
or
you
old.
also have ladies' nights as well.
The ladies' nights are incredible here. The ladies in Burlington need an escape, and I think they're tired of just going to movies and going, you know. So last Thursday of every month, dedicated to the ladies, we actually close the studio, stay open an hour later.
Wow. I guess
And
you
it's
would have
great.
to, because that's the thing. So it's good times. People can have snacks and
Yeah.
hang out with each other and just enjoy.
And it's fun for us too. I mean, I couldn't be happier being here and meeting the public and the community. We've been doing a lot of fundraisers lately for the different schools and the different charities. We're involved with all the team sports now. So we've sponsored a couple of hockey teams, girls and boys, because I didn't want to
Awesome.
pick.
And you don't have to book ahead to come. You just walk in.
Completely
and-
drop in, and I think that's the big mystery about us is that people think, oh, you need to make an appointment, and no, we are open 7 days a week. All the studios are.
Perfect.
Just come on in and see us. And
Well,
we'll
there
get
you
you
go. It's that
sorted.
easy.
Yep.
It's that easy. Well,
It's
thanks
that
for letting
easy.
us come into your space,
Well,
and to,
thanks for
to all the
coming.
kids and families here today as well for letting us come in. And again, you're located at Highway 5 in
Walker's Line.
in the Longos Plaza here, and there's locations all over the place as well.
Yes, there is.
Perfect. So fun. This is good for our Terra at Home folks. That's it for now. We'll be back with more Terra at Home.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home, and to add to our Thanksgiving special officially this weekend. I cannot believe Thanksgiving is here. We're in October, and but, you know, it's always a great idea. Everybody makes some aspect of their traditional dinner, but it's always nice to add a new side. Sometimes people like to add a twist, especially if they have that same sort of scenario every year. Family's coming over. So you come up with 2 different sides for us today.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to start off with a scalloped potatoes, but it's a bacon and porcini scalloped potatoes.
Ooh, yum.
So a little bit of a twist there, some different flavors. And then we're also going to do some Brussels sprouts, one of my favorite things to play with. We're going to add some prosciutto, smoked prosciutto actually, and some apple in with that. And we'll caramelize
Perfect.
those.
Oh, that'll be a nice flavor. Okay, great. Some good ideas.
So we're going to start off with the scalloped potatoes, and I already have the bacon cooking just because I want to be able to show you everything here and have enough time. So this is just maybe 5 or 6 slices of bacon, and I just slice them up into small pieces and just sauteing them until, you know, crispy. I like mine quite crispy.
Crispy, yeah.
So we'll just keep that going there. Now, every once in a while, they kind of drain off a little bit of the fat because there is a lot of fat that comes off of the bacon. So again, when you start with your bacon in the pan, you don't need to add any kind of fat, no butter, no oil, because there's
and the more you're cooking it too, right? So if you're really cooking it down to crisp, yeah, you're going to have to keep draining because you're getting rid of all that
yeah,
fat
so I've
off
drained
there.
this twice already. There's still quite a bit in there, but that's okay. It'll just add a little bit of extra flavor. It is Thanksgiving,
smells
right?
Good. Hey, it's bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon tastes good on anything.
So it's almost done. I'm going to add in some garlic, just because I like to add garlic into everything. A little bit extra flavor, and we'll add in some onions too, which always go nice in,
that'll be great
in the scalloped potatoes. So add those in when the bacon's almost done, and we'll just cook everything together. It makes it easier. In the meantime, while we get the onion cooking down here and the bacon a little more crispy, I have a big pot here, and this is going to be the pot for my potatoes. So I have peeled and sliced my potatoes fairly thin. They are still raw.
Now, did you slice these by hand?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I guess that's what chefs do, huh?
Takes a couple minutes.
Okay.
But this is about 5 potatoes here. It'll nicely fill this casserole dish.
Okay.
If you have a mandolin, you can use that
Yeah.
too. It might be a little faster and more precise.
Especially if you have to
that
make 3 of these for hungry people.
Yeah. So I'm going to use the big pot for the potatoes, and what I'm actually going to do is put in, this is about a cup of milk and some cream.
Whoa. Cream.
And we're going to turn this on and get it kind of simmering a bit.
Okay.
So we'll leave that for a moment, and I'll explain to you the mushrooms that we're using.
Right.
So these are porcini mushrooms, and you get them at the grocery store in a box very similar to this, and then they're in a bag. And
they're dried.
Yeah, they are dried. You can't get fresh porcini mushrooms around here.
Right.
It would be very difficult so you're always going to have to be using the dry ones.
Okay.
And you just want to soak them in some boiling water, basically. Boiling or hot water. And soften them. Yeah, so I started this when I was getting things ready here. So as long as you put them in the water, by the time you kind of get to the stage where you need them, they should be soft enough.
Okay.
And what you want to do is you actually, when you put them into your bacon mixture, when you put the mushrooms in there, you want to reserve the water that they've been sitting in.
Yes, I've made that mistake before where I didn't save the liquid. And then how do you get that back?
Yeah, it's
So
just a very
keep it.
flavorful liquid
It
that
really
just adds. It just adds to
Keep
the
it
dish.
for anything, even if you don't use it all. You keep it for soups or any type of, it's so good, right?
Yeah, use it in the future.
Okay.
So basically, these are nice and soft now. So what I'm going to do with these is just chop them up a little bit further. Just quickly chopped.
Okay.
And we can add that into this mixture here.
Perfect. So now the potatoes are going to be going in with the milk and cream bath then?
Right.
Ah, okay.
So we're going to be using the liquid from here. So that's why, let me try to get these out now. And then we can throw this liquid in with the milk.
Okay.
And we'll get that simmering.
Oh,
and then we'll
that'll
just
be nice.
throw the potatoes in there.
Sure.
And simmer them for a couple minutes just to get them soft.
Okay.
So let's put that in there. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Thank you. So we've got our milk, our cream, and our mushroom water in there. Again,
all of
just
those in with the yummy bacon
roughly chop
onion mix.
these. Yeah, and And you can make your own variation of this, add whatever kind of mushrooms you like.
Okay.
These are they have a very distinct flavor.
They do, very earthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So they might not be for everybody, but I think they're a good addition to this dish.
Okay. So 2 minutes left.
Okay.
So you have to be super chef.
Right. Okay. We're gonna put the potatoes in this milk, and we'll just cook them in there, and that'll get them ready to go in the casserole dish.
All right.
We'll switch pans. And we're gonna do the Brussels sprouts now, which are very easy to do.
Okay.
Basically taking a whole Brussels sprout, I cut it in half, and then I, chop it.
So you know what, this might be good for people because some people don't really like Brussels sprouts. So maybe if you chop them all up finely, the approach is a little bit easier for some people. There seems to be this hate for for Brussels sprouts.
And you know what? That's what I found. That's why I'm always doing dishes where I'm adding in bacon or something like that.
You're trying to entice somebody to love them like you do, right?
Because I'm not a huge fan, to be honest with you. But when you add in things like this, really good. So we've got some oil and butter in the pan. We're just going to melt it, and we're actually just going to saute these, for a total of 15 minutes or so. But we'll start off.
So this becomes a good easy side then, right? Because you're keeping it on the stove.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need the oven space.
You don't need the oven. There's everyone's always just having a tough time for oven space.
Right.
You're using your toaster oven, you're jamming things in and switching them up.
So what we're going to do is we're going to saute these. We're going to make sure that they're nicely coated in the butter and add in some sugar.
Okay.
This will help to caramelize them, which will add the flavor as well. And then once these are almost cooked down, we can add in the apple and some chopped up prosciutto. Mix it all together, and
that's an easy side. I love that.
Yeah, it's that easy.
So what we'll do is we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll show you how all this comes together, both sides, and you can pick and choose or use both for your Thanksgiving meal. That's it for now.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home, and finishing up our sides for Thanksgiving dinner. And we should again probably, I guess, should we recap first what we did with the scalloped potatoes?
Yes, because you didn't see that.
Right.
So we had the milk and the cream and the porcini juice, water I should say, in the big pot, and you put the potatoes in there and let them simmer for about 10 minutes until they become fairly soft.
Okay.
Then you want to put in your first layer of potatoes in your casserole dish. Then we just spooned on the mushroom, bacon, onion mixture. Sprinkled it with your favorite cheese. So I had a blend of some Swiss cheese and old cheddar. Then just another layer of potatoes, some more bacon mixture, a little bit more cheese. Yeah, and then just put it in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes or so covered. I covered it with foil, then I took the foil off and then cooked it for another 20 minutes or so. You want to make sure that it's warm throughout, but everything's cooked.
Yeah,
and the cheese is melted
and soft, and it looks
so 50 minutes total, maybe.
So good. Okay, and for this side, that was really nice, straightforward and easy. I love this.
Right. So when the Brussels sprouts started to get nice and soft, after I had added the sugar in with them, I just added in some sliced Granny Smith apple and some sliced up smoked prosciutto. And continued sauteing that.
Simple, right?
Yeah, you can season it with salt and pepper if you like.
So all that flavor in just some simple ingredients. And maybe you can talk a few more people into enjoying Brussels sprouts this Thanksgiving.
Yes,
maybe
get the kids to have some.
Yeah, exactly. We should remind you, of course, all these, again, recipes can be found on the TERRA Greenhouse's website, terragreenhouses.com. And again, it just adds to your Thanksgiving dinner of just giving up just a few extra little sides, maybe even just add it to what you already have, right?
Right.
So
something different.
Exactly.
Right? A twist on the classic.
And again, a lot of people are used to scalloped potatoes and what they are, but again, you're saying by adding the porcini and adding some bacon, and it just gives
the
it
flavors
a
are completely different.
Love
from
it.
So the normal one.
This is our Thanksgiving contribution to your dinner.
Yes.
Hopefully you have a really fantastic weekend with your family.